What's up, Fumble fans? Welcome to the Weekend Zone. I'm Britt Johnson. I'm here with Matt Demecki and Chris Clark. How you guys doing?
Good.
Doing great.
Good.
Doing great.
So you can give us the update. How was the next game?
It was great.
Yeah.
Did they win?
Yeah.
They did.
They did.
And I'm gonna count it.
Good luck.
I'll count
I
it.
have good luck.
That means I expect you to be there. We play tomorrow. I expect you to be there tomorrow.
I'll be not there.
All
But
right,
it was awesome because I went to the Knicks game and then I ran downstairs and went to the Jose Ramirez fight. And it was amazing. Shout out to Jose for winning. He's from the Central Valley, so we had
What
to,
a life.
we had to represent, set ringside,
That's fine.
It's nothing.
What a life.
You
Don't
lost
rub
me
that
at the
dirt
Knicks
on me.
game.
I don't want that
It's
any
nothing.
You lost
dirt.
me at the
Don't
Knicks
get that
game.
dirt on me.
Well, March Madness is still going on, so let's talk about it.
Let's do it.
I'm not going to even mention anybody's brackets
Oh,
because
please don't.
Please don't.
we're not
Please,
doing
please,
too well,
please
and I know you guys aren't doing too well either, but I want to ask you guys a question. If your team loses in the first round of March Madness, like a lot of people's teams did, should players' draft rankings drop, i.e. Trae Young?
No, because here's the thing, and it's 1 point only, because it's going to discredit everything they did in the regular season. Because Trae Young, I mean, he had games that...
But they didn't have a good second half of the regular season either.
But he had a good first half individually.
wow.
No,
Cool.
Trae Young individually had a great first half of the season.
Yeah,
So,
the team did too. They were 12-1.
but the team sucks. Like, if you see
team
the
was
team
bad.
around him,
Yeah.
it's just a terrible
play-
team.
yeah.
So, I don't think you should discredit somebody's draft stock because their team's lousy. Like, I don't understand that because that discredits everything that they've been doing
The whole time, yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
I hate to agree, but yeah, I'm 100%.
Yeah. Okay.
I just don't feel like, because there's a lot of players that are, like, same thing with DeAndre Ayton, who's going to probably be the first pick, and you can't discredit him for losing, as early as they did. To me, I can't take away from the player from what they did the entire season just because they lost, a big game in the tournament. That's my opinion.
Okay, my biggest
Against
thing
one
about
game.
this is the weird split you guys have on this because we've had several talks on this very stage right here about NBA MVPs and should players that don't have winning teams be able to be an NBA MVP? I believe both of you guys said no on that. Both of you guys did. So why is it just because it's college you're giving these kids passes because their team sucks?
But that's way different because
it's not. It's actually not because
it is.
The NBA MVP is the best player on a team, and it doesn't have to be whatever. Their team doesn't have to be good, but you're comparing their team's record to if they are the best player in the league at the time versus now you're comparing a player if they should be a higher draft pick because of their team or not.
Okay,
so it is the same comparison, but it's at a different
This
level.
is what I'm going to say about it. Let's say you're
Y'all
at
I just got y'all.
No, that's two different things.
No, Britt, let me take this back real quick. Let's say you're at a job, you're at a sales job, you're the top of your class, and everybody else around you is lousy in that class. And then you go for a job interview, you say, here's what I've done, and they look at the company's failing. Are they gonna say, I'm not gonna take you because the company's failing? They're gonna take you because you're having individual goals, like you're hitting your goals. That's what I'm saying, like, look at Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons, when he was at LSU, they didn't even
LSU
win
was
the
trash,
tournament.
yeah.
Exactly, and look what him.
I know, but I'm just pointing out. I'm not saying that their stock should drop or whatever. I'm pointing out your guys' big
But
difference
that's different
on
because that's
arguments.
an award
It is,
compared to their future. So
Getting-
you're looking
getting
at two
picked-
different
If you can
things.
play,
You're looking at the assets that this player can attribute to
because
your
that
team
helps,
compared
like,
to giving
say
an
the
award
players
for your
that-
overall effort for
I
the
know,
season.
but getting those awards makes the difference in stuff. It makes the difference in your Hall of Fame. It makes the difference in your
add on to what you're
contracts
saying,
in the
so
future.
If the
So,
draft is
yes,
happening with
those
the NBA
matter.
players, so James Harden gets MVP.
Yeah.
But if there's a draft with the NBA players right now, you're telling me you would not pick LeBron James over James Harden anyways, even though James Harden is your MVP?
No, that's not the same thing. I'm talking about James Harden is up for a contract.
Because he
next
has a
year.
winning team, he's doing
Say-
well. And to say everything you're saying is true, but I'm saying if the best players right now were put into a draft, yes, sure, James Harden's the MVP, but he's not the #1 overall pick. Which is the same thing, like say Villanova wins, the guy I want to go to the Knicks, Michael Bridges, he's on the Villanova team, but he's gonna get picked 10th in the draft because DeAndre Ayton's probably still gonna get picked.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's two different arguments.
It's kind of the same though. It kind of has the same idea behind it, but that's all I have to say.
Ooh, we just got Brett right there.
You didn't get me because I have a guy behind me, or behind this camera, and he's saying we need to go on to the next topic. I was about to get y'all right now.
He was just trying to
I was about
save
to
you,
get y'all right now,
good.
but you know, time. We got to move on. So let's move on to the NFL because that's like my favorite thing to talk about.
Right.
So the Washington Post said the NFL plans to eliminate 2 factors that can cause incompletions. Number 1 is the slight movement of the ball will be reversed, and number 2, going to the ground looks like it's going to be eliminated as well. They also said the NFL plans to go back to the old replay standard of reverse the call on the field only when it's indisputable. Is this a good call or a bad call?
I think it's a good call, and I think it only depends if the ruling stands, and it depends if they keep it. Not like like why are we gonna have a meeting every year about what a catch is? Like I feel like up until that Calvin Johnson catch where he came down for that game-winning touchdown and then he dropped it at the end, everybody just forgot what a catch was after that. Like ever since then,
that was like the first one.
That was the first one.
And then my Des Bryant, and then Jesse.
But before that, like, were we arguing about what a catch and what a catch isn't? Like ever since that ruling, it's just been crazy. So I feel like if they keep this rule in place, I think it would be good. Like we all know what a catch is. You know, it's pretty obvious most of the time.
Yeah, and I believe they were talking about going in reverse this time. So they went back through a bunch of different types of catches, and they went and said, is that a catch or not? Is that a catch or not? And then they're now making the rules based off of what they determined were catches or not, versus before they kind of had a rule and then they would like then apply it to the catches that they saw, versus like seeing the catches first and then determining how we're going to write out this rule to make it a catch or not. So, but I mean, it kind of sucks because my Cowboys could have beat.
No, they couldn't have.
Yeah, it's like.
Yeah, because they would have beat the Packers.
No, after Des Bryant made that catch, Aaron Rodgers had 3 minutes left. People were forgetting about that.
No, he didn't have 3 minutes left,
and
we were still.
Go watch the film.
And we were still. That wasn't a catch for a touchdown. We were still in play, so that whole play would have kept being called. It would have brought the time down way more, and then we would have ran a few plays.
You're both right, because at the same time,
you
could have still brought down some time, but at the same time, I feel like anything over 20 seconds is too much.
It's too much.
It is.
You guys saw in that play?
Absolutely, but still.
But it could have gone either way. We'll
still
never
sad.
know. To me, honestly, I think it's good, but it's also bad because it just shows how backwards the NFL is still, because they're still backtracking on their own mistakes and stuff like that. And they're like what you just said. They'll make the change now, but what does that do for the Cowboys when that game happened? What does that do for the Steelers when
it's
that
like
game
an OL type
You know what I
thing,
mean? That's what I'm
that's
saying.
It, yeah.
So that's why I'm saying it's a good thing that finally getting this figured out, but at the same time, it's like, get your together.
Yeah, so my next question, I guess, is who and what does this actually affect? Do you think players and teams and fans are going to be more pissed off that this wasn't in effect a while ago? And like me, I'm going to sit here for the next 5 more years and be pissed off about it because now I know it would have been considered a catch? Or do you just think, I mean, just moving forward now, it's like now that we have this, like we know for sure this is what it is, and it'll help prevent this in the future.
Yeah, I mean, now that we're gonna maybe get some clarity about it, I feel like we all should be happy because we can't really like go back. If we backtrack again, I think it's just gonna be like, wow, okay, nobody knows what a catch is ever, you know. But
fans are still gonna be petty though. The fans are still gonna be petty,
especially this fan.
Yeah, but at the same time, I agree. I think especially with the players, you know, it's one of those things like move on. We got it now. Let's continue where we're going. But I think fans are going to continue to be petty regardless.
By the way, that Jesse James play was super underrated, by the way, because they would have had the #1 seed, and you never know after that. So
again, we're backtracking yet again. We're backtracking yet again. Well, real quick, I'm going to just do this out of
Oh man, what's that?
Predictions for Super Bowl next year.
Jeez, it's too early. That's fine.
Isn't it? What is it? March?
I know.
The draft hasn't even happened. I don't even think I've seen
Now
a mock
that we've
draft
changed
yet.
this catch rule, the Cowboys are for sure going to be in
out of our NFC?
Well, I have to find something to say because I can't do any more predictions about March Madness because we're all donezo.
Fine.
But who's going to win?
Yeah, I don't know who's going to win it. But, I mean, I can easily, I feel confident.
I like to say something and then look back a year later and then be like, look at me.
I did.
I was so right.
Let's do it. Eagles repeating.
Against who?
Doesn't matter. We're a
Let's
team.
not do all
I
that.
don't care.
Let's not do all that.
Okay.
I don't care.
All right. Well, if we're going, I'll play my
He's
game
gonna
too.
go
Let's go
Saints.
Saints. Yeah, hell yeah. Especially if we get the Ndamukong Suh with everything we just picked. Hell yeah, we're going Saints.
Oh, man.
A
All
year
right.
2 Camaro.
So
Let's go.
one thing we do have all in common is the NFC is going to win
Yeah,
this next
yeah.
Super Bowl. Alrighty. So we want to know what you guys think about what we talked about today. Let us know in the comments below. Like, subscribe, shop the Fumble store for all your game day gear. I'm Britt Johnson. That's Matt Demacki. That's Chris Clark. We'll see you guys next time.